Welcome, everybody. This is the Land of Work and Joy podcast. I'm Mr. K. These are my co-hosts, Saint J and Blessed.
Yeah.
What's up, gents? You all right?
Good. How's it?
Okay, we're all right. We're all right.
Yeah.
How's the week been?
Good.
Aye. What'd you get up to, man?
Yo. I always like it when you start with the home.
Okay, let's jump.
The week was alright.
Yeah.
Friday,
Yeah.
went out. Yeah. Then
You went
Saturday,
you went to see a show, or you just went to chill?
just to chill.
Okay.
Yeah. Just went to chill. And Saturday I had a meeting at church.
Uh-huh.
And of course Sunday, church service.
Okay. That's great, man. You went to church, Saint?
Oh, no.
Aye.
And I was just occupied with something else. But
Okay.
No, church, like I said last time, I think I said it on the other night. Church
Yeah.
is with us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm cut.
I see.
Oh, Mutima.
Yeah, no, I had a good weekend as well. You know, chilled, mostly just at home.
Aye.
I had a bit of work to do and catch up with.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, so I didn't. Anyway, I usually don't even chill, so most of the times I'm at home.
You don't
Yeah.
chill, man. No chilling. No social time, man, whatsoever.
It's rare. I used to chill a lot at a certain point
Oh, yeah?
in time, but now I don't.
No, you just don't.
Yeah, like, you know, things change.
Ish, man. It's working for you, yeah?
Yeah, it is.
Oh,
It's been very helpful, actually. I've saved quite a lot of money.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
You guys, you should have
Oh,
5
my
houses
God.
by now, right? Should have houses and cars now.
Hey, maybe I do, man. Maybe I do.
Maybe you
Yeah, who knows?
Hey,
Yeah,
Who knows?
but anyway,
Yeah.
let's just get into our topics for today. You know,
Yeah.
we've had it's a very sad time for our nation here in Zambia.
True.
We lost our former president, Edgar Chagwa Lungu, the 6th Republican president of Zambia.
Yeah.
He passed away on 5th June in South Africa whilst getting medical treatment in South Africa.
Well,
Yeah, so it's been quite a sad situation.
True.
You know, looking
Sad
at how
indeed.
like, I think we did hear those reports to say
Yeah.
that he had been ill, but for me, like, he didn't look as sick, sort of, to say.
Sure.
So to hear that he passed away was
was
a
a
big
shock.
surprise to me. Yeah.
for you, eh?
Yeah.
For me, according to me, in my opinion, because I had not seen any the pictures that people were posting about him or
Yeah.
always like Yada Akali. I
Uh-huh.
had not seen something that was like very recent.
Okay.
Yeah. So even when his absence and people saying he's going to like stand, it was like, or maybe his background that working on that. But I was like, no.
Yeah.
Then the report saying he's not feeling well. I mean, but then that was not official. I didn't see it on any official page saying, acknowledging that he was not feeling well. So on that one, I was just like, we were in the dark. Yeah. So I was like, oh, we're here to see you anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sad
But that's
stuff,
like
man.
that's very.
It came as a
sad.
shock, of course. It came as a shock.
Yeah.
We are hoping to see the plan B, but yeah, it happened. So
Yeah.
we leave everything in the hands of God. But as a country, we are mourning, of course. Yeah. So it's
1956, right?
So it's a sad
Yes.
moment
To
for
2025.
To 2025. No, may his soul rest in
May
peace,
his
man.
soul
Sad
rest in
stuff.
peace.
People's reactions, though, we're getting a bunch of mixed reactions from people online. You know,
Oh yeah. Ish.
there are people who are genuinely mourning. You
Yeah.
know, it's a sad moment for all of us.
Yeah.
There are people who they've genuinely been hurt. Their reactions are heartfelt.
Yeah.
It's condolences here and there.
Yeah.
But you know, there's those pockets of social media again where it's just people in some ridiculous kinds of behaviors. I don't think we have to go into what people are saying or doing, but yeah, there's some very appalling behavior,
True.
which is a reaction to the man passing away.
Yeah.
You know, and you look at the whole situation with the political parties as well. That's also a bit of a mess. I think it's not fair for the man. You know, we should give this man a dignified funeral
Yeah.
and a send off. You know, he was the president of this nation, so at least let's afford him that respect. But when you see what's happening with the
It's
you know,
total
the
chaos.
leaders up front, the political parties, you know, some of the statements they're making, like, I don't think we need all of that drama this time around, you know?
Yeah, like this is not even the time to start announcing.
They
Yeah.
couldn't even hold their.
Yeah, you know, let the man at least, let's put the man to rest. You know, I think he would be disappointed as well. Anyway, that's just what I think. He'd be disappointed if he saw the manner in which certain things are happening.
Being handled, yeah.
You know, give the man the respect he needs. Give him a dignified send off.
I think they're trying to get is it a political marriage out of someone's death? But which it shouldn't be the case. Like,
Yeah, no, definitely that shouldn't be the case. Like, this is not time for politics.
you want to gain people's sympathy out of someone's death, but
And you see, the sad thing about all of this is the family is actually hurt.
yeah,
This is a real loss.
yeah.
They are really mourning.
This
you
is
know.
somebody's father,
Yeah,
somebody's grandfather.
grandfather, you know,
you
close
know.
friend,
Yeah.
you know. So to just come out and display this kind of behavior is a bit disappointing. Some of the comments on social media are also rather disgusting. Like, if you got nothing nice to say or you don't have any deep condolences or anything, I think
The best is to
just
shut
keep
your mouth.
quiet. Yeah, don't be
Rather not say
commenting out here.
anything.
You know, people are too reckless with what they do
With
online.
words
I
in
think.
Z.
Yeah, so that's that, man. And you know, let's hope everything will go well.
Yeah.
Like, there won't be too much chaos from what we've seen so far. Let's hope everybody puts their egos aside,
Yeah.
and we can give our former president
The
a
right
dignified send off.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was our president. We must afford him that
Yes,
respect.
yes. He
You know?
needs that.
And eventually the state at a certain point would definitely have to handle things in relation to the funeral, because
Yeah.
he was a property of the state.
Yes.
You know, he ceased to be an ordinary person. It's not like just an ordinary person who
Yeah,
died.
yeah.
And I think every person entering office knows that. You know, you cannot be treated in the same way, or things handled in the same way a civilian would.
Yeah,
Yeah, he was the commander in chief. You know, the
Of
soldiers also have to do their own traditional send off for him and the likes. Yeah,
Yeah.
but you know, all prayers to the family and the nation at large. You know, like I mentioned, let's hope this goes well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
true.
So,
Yeah. Any final thoughts on that?
the last thing that you don't understand, you know, like talking about people's reactions.
Yes.
When you see how people are reacting to this, like, it gives you like something to think about. Said, so like when so for other people, for politicians, you know, we saw senior politicians that we know that are in politics. Politicians cry.
Yes.
I saw a number of videos like that, about 2 or 3. So when you look at that, then I was okay. From there now, what's next? Number Fidia, number Bantu. So is that your way of showing that? But then again, you're crying like that. But when the person was alive, we're not seeing him like to be that close. So suddenly, when someone dies now, because they cannot speak for themselves now, then you say, "No, me, I was close to the person like that." So hey. So anyway, different reactions, you know, when.
Yeah, I think anyway, you expect such things when a funeral happens.
Yeah.
You know, there'll always be the people who cry a bit more than others.
Yeah.
You know, unconventional ways of crying.
Yeah.
But again, you can't tell somebody how to mourn.
To mourn.
I think what is bad is for people who are there pretending to mourn and cry. They're making a mockery of the situation.
Yeah, true.
No, that's in bad taste, and that shouldn't be.
Can I give you a scenario?
Yeah.
If me and you, an example, if me and you were sworn enemies, we were not seeing eye to eye. When I die, is it? Do you think it's okay for you to come at my funeral and have a speech and saying I was a good person?
Well, look, in regards of that, at the end of the day, I think we can be enemies, right? Being an enemy with somebody also doesn't mean the person was a bad person.
True.
Okay. You just disagree.
It could simply mean, we disagreed on certain views.
Yeah.
Very strongly. And because of that disagreement on certain views, like that caused our friction.
Yeah.
True.
But that still doesn't take away from him being a father to his children.
Yeah.
Still doesn't take away from being a husband to his wife.
Yeah.
You know, a family man, and all the other things he is to other people.
Yeah.
People are complex, man. Like, your enemy could be somebody's angel.
Yeah.
You know, I always say, like, in someone else's story, because most of the times we're very biased as people.
Yeah.
We look at ourselves as, you know, the angels or the heroes in our story. But in someone else's story, you are the bad guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess that's life.
and there's a reality to that.
Yeah.
No matter how good you think you are, in someone else's story, you are the bad guy. So in relation to that, like, if he genuinely wants to pay his respects,
Yeah.
if it's in a personal capacity, if it's just civilians like that, I would rather, for the sake of sanity and just keeping calm, because people are in a very emotional state. So if you go there, it becomes a different situation. But if you are operating in a different capacity, let's say like you are a president, there are certain things you cannot avoid. It is your duty.
Your duty.
Yes, that's your duty. Yes.
There's no way certain things can happen in this country without you being there.
Yeah, true.
Regardless of how people feel and what's this. In the same way that we're saying, like, you know, it's a state funeral.
And looking at
the
it,
current president also has his duty in this send-off for this man, whether you like it or not.
and
That's
looking
what I think. That's my opinion.
and looking at it, like this case, like the funeral that we have here. Of course, there's gonna be some people that will come out there, like, how is it
Well,
going to
yeah.
look like if the
Yes.
head of state is not going to be there,
Eh.
present at the funeral?
And you know, these things, like, you know, we must have dignity at the end of the day, especially when you're talking about higher levels of leadership and everything.
Yeah.
Like I said, people must learn to put their egos aside so that for the sake of peace and sanity, and also giving this man his dignified send of things go according. But if everyone now wants to make their ego, you want to, you know, be out there and create this overcharged environment where you want to issue statements of, oh, this one shouldn't come, this one shouldn't do this. You know, you create a bad, you know, you create a lot of confusion and chaos,
Of course.
which degrades the whole event and the person being buried also. You know, so I think everyone just on both sides, like, people need to take a chill pill.
They need
Yeah,
to.
they need to take
Yeah.
that thing a whole bunch of notches down and, you know, just be mature about it.
Yeah.
Even in war, they came up with the Geneva Convention for a reason.
Yeah.
Because, you know, if you just leave these things to just anything,
Yeah.
bruh, there's a lot of brutality and, you know, indecency that goes on.
Yeah.
So people actually saw that, oh, yes, in as much as we are fighting each other, it's a war. There must be some order and analysis. Now, if people can come up with a convention for war and do certain things, why can't you, as individuals who are not even in a war state, sit down, say, have some principles to say. For instance, I'll give you an example. Like, I think I was watching, there's a movie I was watching, right? It's about some gangsters in the US.
Sure.
It's a black American ghetto. And you have these gangsters who operate in there.
Okay.
So they're rivals, but they would have these basketball games they would have. So each of the gangsters on the different sides will sponsor a team to play against the other side.
Oh, yeah?
Now, whilst that basketball game is happening, mind you, these are rival gangs. These are people who've killed each other. They've each lost members to that whole beef they have.
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
But when that basketball game is being played, they go into a ceasefire. Okay?
Okay.
There's a code which they go by. Say, okay, guys, we are enemies. We could kill each other and all this, but when this game is on, none of that is going to be tolerated. Okay? Or they would have things like, on Sunday, there's no killing anyone. Or you don't kill people's mothers, children, and what's this?
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Yeah, those codes, yeah.
Yes, they're just some form of principles, you know. So even with this thing, like, there's no way where you just take everything all the way. You must have some code of ethics, some morality to you. This is where now morals come into play.
So you've just reminded me of something. Like, I remember there's a person I know. right? We were in school together.
Yeah.
So these two guys, not to mention names, they had beef. Right, that beef. I think it was over a chick.
Okay.
Yeah, it was over a chick. All right. It's unfortunate. One of them passed on.
Okay.
All right. And the funny thing that they were going at the same church.
Yes.
They were all in the youth ministry. I was like, so number, what happened was when the other guy died was like, because a lot of us knew that, A and B, they had beef.
Yeah.
So we are not sure if this guy is going to show up at this guy's funeral.
Yeah.
But what happened is that this guy came through, then he was like, he had regrets of not saying, I think if we had really harmonized everything, like if we had talked before this guy passed on, like he felt guilty because like, us as dudes, can we really be fighting over a chick and keep that grudge going? You know? But the guy came through and he was ministering at this guy's funeral. I was like, okay. So I think that shouldn't be the case. Even when we have beef and ABCD,
yes,
at some point we should have that.
Especially at such a high level, because you know, at these high levels, you really need to exercise a lot of maturity and level-headedness, because your decisions carry a lot of weight and impact. What you might say or do will affect a lot of people who are not even there with you. They get affected by those things. So when our leaders and our politicians and the people in front are making statements, they must be very sensitive of that. And, you know, it just shows leadership when people are mature enough to put their differences aside. You know, it shows somebody dignified, somebody we can trust to be our leader. Say, I think this is a person we can stand behind. But now when you are an antagonistic kind of person and it's, hey, church is a church. No. That is not good. Everyone has lost, like, you know, we've all lost our president. It's not just a loss for one person, it's a loss for the whole.
I think this gives it a clear picture even to those. Of course, these are our elderly guys that are in power and ABCD that are in politics. This gives it a clear picture to those youths that are aspiring to be politicians and want to be in parliament. No one knows, of course. If these guys pass on, of course, it's definitely us who are going to come in. This gives us a clear picture saying, even if when we have our political issues here, fights, and please, let's put that aside, that energy aside.
Yes.
We mourn someone in peace.
That's true.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's that, man. Rest in peace to Edgar Lungu. It's a sad moment indeed for the country. Yeah, so with that, I think we will move on to something a bit different. We'll leave this for a bit now. Trademark issues. Yeah, so there is this trademark thingy that has been going on. You know, here in Zambia, we have Zaven, Kopala Queen. So Zaven is a Zambian artist. She's a female rapper. I think the best in the country, if not. I don't know. If you know any different, come through and tell me. But
top 3.
For me, like when it comes to the ladies
3
who are doing their things, like she's number 1 for me.
Yeah.
So
she's killing it.
Zaven goes by the name Kopala Queen. That's her rap name. Zaven the Kopala Queen.
Yeah, it's like Zaven and Kopala.
Yes. Then we also have another person in the mix, Sarafina Ntenga, who's I think she's more of a social media person.
Comedian. Is it a comedian? No, like an influencer?
I would call her a social media personality.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. So. Anyway, correct me if I'm wrong.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she's a social media personality. She became famous for pushing a lot of like Kopala type content. You know, she came up with the Kopala Laka and a bunch of other things. You know, so she recently filed. She recently got the name Kopala Queen trademarked. Okay, so that caused a bit of stir because now people are thinking, but Zaven is the Kopala Queen. How come she's going to trademark it? And you know, there was a bit of all this online back and forth going on. People discussing, like, no, how can she do that? And what's this?
Yeah.
And people are there, no, that's Zavin's name. She can't do that and whatever, But she filed that trademark.
Yeah, she did.
She got that name, and we saw. People just kind of just going off about it. Like the only Coppola Queen we recognize is
Zavin and stuff like
that.
But
I think when you look at that whole situation, I don't think Sarafina did anything wrong legally.
No.
Okay.
She didn't.
Yeah, because I think with trademark is whoever goes there first and files the name, and I think if they have a compelling case, this is something that I use. There's no foul play or anything or whatever. Like they have the right to use that name.
For Sarafina, I thought she was the cop. In a foundation for Sarafina, ten Copalalaka.
She used to say Copalalaka, but I don't know how exactly she came to trademark the Coppola Queen thing.
Maybe she had said it on certain occasions, or maybe.
But anyway, I don't even think it's an issue of saying it as per se. Maybe it's something that she has always had that we never knew about. But the fact is, she went and had it trademarked.
Yeah.
And it's her trademark.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then again, fast forward like last week, Zavin went to the PACRA offices, and they were kind of saying like. She'll be able to still use the Zavin
like that name,
yes. So I was a bit confused about that because the way my understanding of trademark was like once somebody has that trademarked, like a name or something, somebody else can't use it. Especially if you're in the same industry.
True.
I think maybe if the trades are different,
maybe
you could use.
There's allowance for that. But
if
you're in similar type of industry, then it becomes something else. But we need to get more information on that. I'm not sure what exactly that's about.
I think that's a good move, dude. Because now it comes now to artists now. Because I've also seen the Zam president.
Yeah.
He's also gone ahead and trademarked his name.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, B-Flow.
Okay,
yeah, so he also encourages other guys to
go and trademark.
Sorry. Looking at the issue in trademarks, because a trademark is an intellectual property.
Yes.
Right? For a brand, it might be an artist or a company. So, number, if you're like the way you said it, like she went at Parker and Parker said she can use the name. Again, like how?
That's what I was saying. Like, I'm a bit confused.
That's more like, let's say if I went to Parker and said, okay, I have a brand. Let's say it's phase 1.
Yeah.
Then there's phase 1. No, you can use it when there's already phase 1. How?
Maybe we need to get a lawyer on this podcast who can explain these things better to us. Yeah.
Legal. We need legal.
We need somebody with that legal frame of mind who can explain these things to us. I'm sure there's a condition which she met that she could use the name.
No.
Yeah. And because I don't know if she's just using Coppola Queen or it's Zavin the Coppola Queen. Yeah, so I'm not sure about that, but there are those specifics that we need to go into and read, because that's what I wanted to understand. Because I remember like there's a case I remember watching like for who's that dude? Bobby Valentino. Yes, so Bobby Valentino is an American artist, right? Formerly known as Bobby Valentino. He now goes by Bobby V.
Bobby V, yeah.
Yes. So he was singing and operating under the name Bobby Valentino. That's the dude who did the Slow Down, the Mrs. Officer track with Lil Wayne, and a bunch of other hit songs.
Yeah. No, he had like good songs.
Yes. So when he started, he was going under Bobby Valentino, but after some time, his name kind of changed to Bobby V.
Bobby V, yeah.
And the story behind that wasn't really like, it never really came out then. We just thought that maybe dude's just rebranding. Like how P. Diddy went from Puff Daddy to P. Diddy.
Yeah.
Yeah. That kind of arrangement. Because artists do that from time to time.
Yeah.
So I thought, maybe dude's just feeling like he needs to just change up his name or something. But what actually happened is that I think there was an album or songs they were promoting. They were trying to sell.
Okay.
So they were trying to get that piece of music distributed worldwide. But when they got to the UK, apparently there was an artist already there called Bobby Valentino.
Oh,
Yeah.
the UK.
Yes. So he actually called the record label up, say, yo, that's my name. Like, what's up with that? You know? So they had a meeting. I think they talked about it, and they agreed. Say, okay, look, he's already Bobby Valentino. He does go by the name Bobby Valentino, and people kind of know him for that. But okay, what we'll do is this: around the world and these other countries, he'll go by Bobby Valentino. But when we're selling the records in the UK, and I've forgotten which other country, he'll go by Bobby V.
Oh.
So that we don't have that conflict, and they agreed to that. But I don't know why the label still went on and used that Bobby V name, the Bobby Valentino full name.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So the guy sued them, like.
But that's
So when they went back again in the UK, they continued saying Bobby Valentino.
Yes. So the guy sued them because they went against what they had agreed. And that's how now you have Bobby V, like it's just Bobby V now. Like,
about some guys that didn't want to
so
say.
since you don't stick to the agreement, you're not gonna use this name nowhere else.
About some guys that didn't want to say. Nimpsha ine ku states ne. Ina pusha konze kuno chalo chonze.
No, but, it was the label who was dealing with it.
Yeah. So I
Yeah, so the label is the one that kind of messed up that situation.
Yeah.
So that was my little kind of like exposure to trademarks and music.
Yeah.
So when that came around, I thought maybe, like Sarafina is like taking that, you know.
Yeah.
If you want, you can talk about it maybe on a moral standpoint of view. Say, like, yo, you already knew there's somebody with that name. How could you go do that? But legally, yeah, bro, like first come, first serve, man.
First come, first serve. Like
that's what I think.
Yeah, because a trademark is an intellectual, legal, not illegal, property. Yeah, for a brand.
And you know, I think they're just people like, and you know, certain companies, people and individuals, they're just in the business, so they just trademark phrases and names and what's it, because they know like this is a very catchy and cool thing. Somebody want to use this and they charge you to use it.
Yeah, and I think in the coming days or weeks or whatever months, we'll see a lot of artists doing that.
Yes, especially with like the way B-Flow has gone to thingy his name. Yeah. I think next you definitely hear Yo Maps has also gone to, if he hasn't done it already.
Guys, I'm Yo Maps.
Yeah, but I think I suspect maybe Yo Maps has already done it.
Yeah, maybe he's got the team that went there.
Yes, somebody must have already told him like you need to trademark this and you know get this and this.
I think I should do so.
It's going to be an interesting time.
Yeah,
man.
I think I need to do that because I think there's something I observed on. I think it was on Facebook.
Yes.
When I just started my page, like so when I searched blessed,
finding 3 of you, 4.
These blessed ZM, another blessed ZM. And I was like, since me I'm going to be famous, these guys.
It doesn't work like that. People take this stuff.
Yeah, so I think I'm going to do that even me just to protect.
Yeah, and I think that's why it becomes important to trademark your stuff. It helps to protect your brand. Yeah. You know, because building a brand is not easy. Just think of all the energy and work and time, effort and resources that you've put into building. Just picture a brand like the way Yo Maps is. That how big that brand is, and then just for somebody to come and take that name, because that name commands a lot of brand attention and goodwill. You know, so in order to protect that, from unscrupulous people just coming and taking the name for themselves and running with it, you have to trademark it.
Sure. Of course.
Yeah.
Very important.
And also, like, I think B-Flow did, he pulled a good move. You know, he set a very good example for other musicians to go through and, like, you know, trademark his name. But I think he can they can go a step further. Like, this is my appeal to him and the rest of the Zam body. So for the rest of my African audience out there, ZAM is simply just the Zambian Association of Musicians. It's responsible for dealing, the association responsible for dealing with the affairs of Zambian music artists. Yeah. So what ZAM can do, essentially, I think it's a very important thing, which I think a lot of artists need, is let them provide workshops and you know, some form of platforms where they can educate artists.
Yeah,
true.
I think as one of the
That would
first
be a very
moves, that would be
good move.
very important, because when you have an educated group of people in what they're doing, they can now then make better decisions.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they
That's
like, that's an appeal from me to Sam. Make some workshops, find a platform and some way in which you can train the people so that, you know, people can learn what this game is about, the business side of it.
Yeah.
Because the production and the artistry side of it is not really the challenge. But when it comes to the business side of things, the legal side of things, I think we need a lot of education on
I
that.
think they are going to do more.
Yeah.
Such
Or maybe
works.
even on this platform. Sorry to cut you.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Or maybe even on this platform, we can have a segment where it's just music business. So obviously we can have somebody from the association or from anywhere, whoever is knowledgeable about this, just to speak. I'm aware it's fair enough here, like for, you know, for someone to understand exactly what it means when they say music business. You know what I mean? Because there's a huge difference between the music industry and the music business.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's a lot of us in the music industry, you know, and the business is suffocating with minds that are supposed to be there also. Yeah.
No, definitely.
But we're getting there.
I think we will, like, you know, as the episodes keep running, we'll definitely get some of these more informed minds to come and, you know, help teach us on a bunch of these things that we're not too familiar with as it pertains to business and legal issues.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think it's just something that's restricted to the music industry. Just entertainment as a business generally, you need a bit more education on that. And just business itself. There's certain things that we do in business in this country, Zambia, that, you know, we shouldn't necessarily be doing. You know, so there's a lot to learn, but we'll definitely be getting some of those experts out here to come and teach us a bit more on that.
Like sure.
Yeah. So so that's that trademark issue. Yeah, get your name trademark, man. I already trademarked this thing. I do know guys have a tendency to do that, eh? Because even like you guys, a song like the Come and See. Yeah, like I've found like 2 channels that's like playing your video, like the full video. Not in snippets. The whole entire video is on someone else's YouTube. Yeah. And so if also you haven't registered in your YouTube,
people do that.
So if also you haven't gotten your YouTube business sorted out, that person is taking your views.
True.
And they could monetize those views because there's no one to claim that intellectual property.
I called one of the guys.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, bro, what have you done? Like, oh, so the guy was like, oh, no, sorry, I'll take down the video. Like, yeah, that's my content. And like, do you know how much I've put in, like, for me to have that thing? Get the whole thing, you put it on your,
You know, just think of how much you
take it down, man.
Think of how much you spent on the video. Think of how much it costs you to get the feature from Chilewan. Then somebody just comes and takes it and boom. But anyway, again, it can work out in a different way. Some people have a huge following.
I think the best thing, the way it can work out is if your song is already given to the distributors and it's there on all the platforms.
Yes.
You don't have to worry about that. They can get the song and put it on the YouTube. They're all streaming things.
The views will go to you.
Yeah.
Okay. That's okay.
Yeah, if that happens.
So, but if it's not given to the distribution company and it's distributed to other streaming platforms, then.
So it's very important for people to get their music with distributors, right?
Yes.
Too much.
Very important.
At least that way you get to protect your intellectual property. Yeah, my guy is like, what was that was telling me? Like somebody like somebody had made a music video to his song. Like this dude had just done the song. And somebody else heard the song, went and shot the music video, and even started doing shows for it.
Picture
that, man. There's somebody just running with your stuff, man. Like
that whole energy, you just guys
are quick, man. Guys are quick. Yeah, so that's that with the trademarks, guys. Get your trademarks sorted, get your legal issues sorted.
Make sure.
Hopefully, we can get an expert on those issues here soon, so that we can, get a bit more enlightened.
Yeah.
So, why me, man? Like, I've been seeing all these posts about him, like, being caught. Because apparently, as far as I know, he was in Zimbabwe. That's what some people say. Allegedly, he was in Zimbabwe.
Yeah.
Yeah, for those, the African audience out there again, Why Me was, what can you call him? He was a TikToker.
A
He's a Zambian youth who was on TikTok, and he got in trouble with the law for making quite some disparaging remarks, for lack of better terms. Yeah, but he was released earlier this year and went into hiding, which then he resumed his videos where he continued with his foul language and the likes. And yeah, word on the street is that he's been caught. So that probably won't end very well. But the reports that I saw like last week, because this we're shooting this is what? Today is the 8th, huh? Yeah, today is Tuesday, the 8th of June. This is when we're shooting. 10th actually. 10th, not 8th. Yeah, we're shooting this on the 10th of June. This is a Tuesday, so I'm sure by the time this comes out, maybe things might be a bit different. But from last week when I was seeing the posts and everything, like, was it last week or just this weekend actually? That's when I saw those posts. Yeah, that's when I saw the posts.
Weekend, of course.
Oh, this guy has been caught and all this. And people are making these funny memes of him like being Samson and the chick like cutting his hair and stuff like that. Yeah. But like, what's the story on that though?
The story, you wanna say it? The story is that he had few ones. No, but you think about
sure,
it,
bro.
What is dreams like?
With
the View One song.
So atena first nika video nika picture wamfa pobwino shana tibakumane
niggas started getting in love.
Na transport money para like Kalemba, according to Kalemba.
That's on Kalemba.
Yes. So that story is actually.
Can we actually just? Maybe we should have something showing down there.
Yeah, because
find that post so we can actually get to it and see what exactly. They had written. Yeah, because like how did they nab him? Like all of a sudden, it raises a lot of questions for me. Like, why didn't they do it sooner?
But according to stories on social media, of course, on Facebook,
slipped.
So it's like this guy, obviously, they met on TikTok because he's more on TikTok.
Okay, wait. Let me ask properly again. He met who?
The same chick.
So it's a chick who got him caught. Alleged, supposedly.
Yeah, that's what I've been seeing.
It's a Zimbabwean chick, or
I think it's a Zambian chick, of course.
Living in Zimbabwe.
Of course, I wasn't even really sure where me used to live or
supposedly he, as far as I know, he used to live in Zimbabwe.
All right, so it's a Zambian chick.
Yes,
it's a Zambian chick.
Or maybe he was in Zambia all this time and we just didn't.
Who knows?
Niggas been.
So according to social media, it's like well, on TikTok, why me is more of a TikTok guy.
Yes.
Those that follow him, I think those he used to invite for his live videos and everything. Maybe one of the ladies
got to him.
Of course, but jeez. I never said.
That was
fear ladies. Fear women. I don't know, but that's what is on social media. This guy.
Yeah.
Love. Of course, I think they exchange numbers. Of course, as we're waiting for the guy to find the story on Kalemba. Of course.
You can go ahead.
Have you found it?
Yeah, there's something that's like close to whatever we're talking about. It's on Kalemba.
Okay.
Because I got a thing if I post.
Oh yeah. True.
So it says here that after receiving several View One's photos,
that's on Kalemba.
Yeah, so this is on Kalemba, the page. Yeah, after receiving the View One's photos of voluptuous woman he had met online. Francis Kapwepwe, aka Waimi, decided to stray out of his secret den of insults to go and meet her after she agreed to marry him.
What?
That is when authorities pounced and arrested this guy. So with this guy, so it's just a normal case of any. If you're feeling for
but bro, hey.
So the chick set him up.
Yeah, your setup.
Yeah.
So this is like a setup, like ambush. Then after that,
I don't know, but according to me, when I saw the story, I think according to me, I think maybe the chick was a cop. She was pretending to be.
She could be a cop or she was planted.
So he actually met this woman physically. Like in actuality, it was just something he was seeing online, and then when he decided to meet her, they nabbed him.
That's the way it looks like.
Okay.
Yeah, because for him to say, "Oh no, you come to this," why would you trust some? Like, bro, you've run away. Why would you trust people that have remained back? Why would you trust a female like to come through where you're at and you're fugitive, man? Like how?
Yeah.
I think it slipped off his mind. Cause
dude just forgot.
What even took out? And then you start calling people.
At that moment, I think he forgot.
Viewers more in Shikanshu.
You know, at a voluptuous woman.
Voluptuous woman.
The way those guys write the articles as well, man.
Skilled, man. Capturing the reader's attention. Yeah.
Hey, that's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why me, bro?
View once.
Fear ladies.
Bro, because if you're in Zimbabwe,
women,
bro.
Like, they can get you killed, bro.
Oh, my God.
My point is, you couldn't deal with whatever you wanted to deal with. In case he was that side.
So
that's his story. Man. Anyway,
yeah. I think maybe when the full story comes out,
we can laugh better.
Yeah.
No. This is a laughing matter, actually. Like, regardless of whatever the story will be.
Bro, the homie just got caught. And you say we're gonna laugh better.
For me, I was not even like, apart from, that was very disrespectful to the nation. It's not even about this. It moved from being political to just being disrespectful to everyone. You're saying this guy insult our parents. Those people that he was insulting, those are our parents.
Yes.
Regardless, even though we don't know them personally, but Zambia is not like that. We've grown up in a you know.
Nah, I see what you mean.
That one is just, we're happy about that. I don't know if you are. I am personally, like, it's alright.
Alright,
it's
but
allowed.
with me, the whole thing, like, with the stories, like, bro, I'm out of this country. Let's say I'm out of this country. I'm on a run. Alright? Where I will go, where I will be. They are ladies. Of course, if you are in that mood, find something that you can deal with. But like, how do you get convinced? Like,
but you see, that's how they I think they usually get guys. Like they use women. So even when you out, if you're on the run, basically, I think you just need to be disciplined for a while. Because even just in that foreign place, you go out and find the chick because they'll know, like, this guy at one point, he'll want something to go look for a woman or something like that. So that's why they get you. You know? So if you know, you got that behavior, bro. Like, it's late for you. And I think for the young man, it's one of those there, like, probably, I need to see this woman, dog. Like
we need to see
pics of who this woman is.
So to see what
she must have been really something, because like,
we should see what must have
messed. Yeah, it must have messed up his wires. And, you know, I'm sure he's never had a chick like that.
Yeah,
you know?
I know we all have like our own kinds of confusion. Like what would confuse me is not what would confuse you.
Yeah. The gentleman.
But we would love to see what confused that. Yeah, because this situation is different.
Hey,
dude, like you're a fugitive.
But I think the nigga got tired of saying, play a game. Yeah. The nigga got tired of saying, are you alone? Play a game. I think he did that for quite some time. And so funa manje some reality mwe vantu vamulungu.
Salama tamatamba vintu arema.
No, man. You guys should be fair, man. They trapped him, man. They trapped him.
Oh yeah.
Any one of us could have been caught.
Oh yeah.
Hey.
They did. Yo.
That's crazy. Anyway,
This guy.
we'll wait for the whole story to come out. You know? I'm sure by the time this
I bet they are
podcast is
waiting.
coming out, yeah.
It's because we are mourning right now as a
yes.
country, so certain
Things are a bit on the low. Hey.
Dang.
So the gentleman apparently has been caught. Well, we still don't know whether that's true or not, but that's word on the streets, you know.
Yeah.
They're saying a woman let him down.
Delilah. Delilah.
Yeah.
And no one is strong to Delilah, my brother.
So, gents, if you're on the run, though, you better be disciplined, man. Otherwise, you can't get caught.
He's fallen in that. There's a statement which says that great men have fallen.
Yeah.
But I don't think we'll put on the great
Yeah.
with him. Just say men have fallen with that.
Okay.
That nigga,
That nigga's been calling himself as a freedom fighter. You,
Yeah.
Are you a freedom fighter?
the lion of
What
something.
freedom are you fighting,
Yeah.
man? Like,
Well,
yeah, so that's a issue.
Ay,
Boy,
cabrón.
yeah.
but yeah, just a teachable moment, like always, you know. You must be responsible with these mediums. Don't go out there just talking all manner of nonsense. You know, respect people, be respectful, don't be insolent, don't unnecessarily attack people, and conduct yourself and make use of these platforms to the best of your ability.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's that, man.
Yeah.
Let's go to the
Why me?
Why?
the FAS issue. The
Oh,
Football
yeah.
Association of Zambia.
Football. You know,
Football.
Yeah, so there's something that I saw like online with the Football Association of Zambia, FAS,
yeah.
and is it the senior teams national?
Yeah, the senior teams.
Yeah.
Because he had a briefing.
Yes.
Just forgotten the day.
Who's that?
The first president, of course, the new first president, Keith Mwemba.
Okay,
He had a
okay.
briefing. Of course, the Zambia national team was supposed to have 2 friendly matches
Okay.
preparing for the
Zambia.
AFCON
Yeah.
and the World Cup qualifiers games. So they were supposed to have the games in Morocco on the 6th of June and the 10th of June.
Yeah.
So, of course, we all know it's not every player that plays in the national team that are local. We have these foreign
Yes.
that are
Yes.
playing in these foreign clubs. Of course, some of them they were summoned. Like, okay,
Come
come
through.
through. We have these friendly matches. Some of them didn't want to come through. They didn't even. Some of them, according to FAS, they didn't respond or they didn't want to come to play those friendly matches because FAS owes them, I think, some allowances.
Okay.
So they're boycotting or demonstrating.
I bet it's a kind of what is it? Protesting, of course, so that the FAS might give them their.
But I saw another like thingy post online with about the same issue. It was players saying like, no, they didn't write, because there's something written that was circulating by the players saying, no, we're not coming because of ABC and NOSIS. But I saw another post to say that the players were kind of denying that, said like, no, we didn't refuse. We're not sure where that communication came from.
Okay.
But it's not from us though. Like we are glad to play for our national team.
Yeah,
we
true.
definitely do
Like,
want
it's
to
an
come
honor.
through and play. And we don't want a situation where like we can't represent our country and the likes. Yeah, so I don't know what's going on there. Is that a real thing?
Yeah, because it's on FAS, Football Association of Zambia. It says, okay, I'm just going to read this.
Yes. Where is that on first? Where are you reading that from?
The FAS
Official page.
The official page,
Okay,
of course.
all right.
All right. The Football Association of Zambia has called off the Chipolopolo scheduled international friendly against Sudan, Tunisia, initially set for 6th and 10th in Morocco. FAS President Keith Mwemba confirmed the cancellation at a press briefing held at Football House, describing the situation as deeply regrettable and unavoidable due to a combination of logistic setbacks, unresolved player grievances, and inherited financial obligations. All right. Speaking at the press briefing held at Football House, Mwemba said the decision to cancel the matches were not taken lightly but became unavoidable due to serious and unfortunate occurrences. All right. I'm just going to
jump forward,
Yeah, because
certain individuals, including some players, refused to travel, citing issued around unpaid allowances.
I see.
Faz, fix your house.
Faz is drama, man. Like,
but it's like I'm so surprised. Like, so just when we go down here, so the first president, who's the first boss, reviewed that the association owes it's in debt of about 100 million kwacha.
Yo.
And paid,
100 million
yes,
kwacha.
100 million.
Unpaid.
Unpaid hotel bills in countries such as Egypt, Mozambique, South Africa, and Namibia.
How do they
Further
get
on
away?
said, like, the coffers are dry.
How do they get away with it?
Of course, you create that relationship. You understand, okay, maybe they'll pay this time, knowing that it's an association, of course. So there's that trust.
Okay.
Yeah. So they all like.
That's a lot of money, man.
100 million.
That's a lot of money.
A lot of money to be.
100 million.
So, what I would like to know is, where does FAS get their funding from?
Of course, it's FIFA.
FIFA. So FIFA funds all FAS activities.
Because it's not politically affiliated.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the government doesn't contribute anything towards FAS.
Of course, the government at some point it does, but not through.
They're not obliged.
It's through sports that they fund.
Okay.
Obviously.
Okay. But their main source of funding is through FIFA.
Yes.
So they've got no other income generating activities other than through FIFA.
No, obviously they do.
So have you seen
Ticket sales.
There's ticket sales, jet sales. It's them.
Yes.
Okay.
That's fast.
All right. Because that's a very serious amount of money missing. Like that is odd. Because it makes me question, like, so how is the income generation side of it going?
Yeah.
Or how are they making their money to be able to pay these bills that they're supposed to pay?
Yeah.
Because that's a lot of money, bro.
Yeah. Because it's not the first time I'm hearing. Okay, let me go now to players. There's one time, even I saw this on the internet. Calabar, is it Calabar? Calabar, yes, Redford Calabar.
Yes, Redford
He was
Calabar.
on I think it was a podcast.
Yeah.
So he was explaining one of these podcasts. So you're saying that they still haven't gotten their monies from that.
Yeah, the 2012
from
guys.
2012.
The guys that won the Africa
The
Cup.
Africa Cup. And you imagine how joyful that moment was. But people were not paid. He said,
That's what he said.
Yeah,
That's what he said.
that.
He said that.
What
on a
podcast?
On the Z podcast.
Ah,
He was on a Z
okay.
podcast.
Yeah, he was on the Z podcast.
Yeah, so we'll probably need to go fish out that clip and see what's going on with that.
No,
yeah.
he said that.
He said that.
Up to now, those guys were not paid their allowances.
People have just been
All
keeping
those monies
quiet.
that those guys were promised to be paid,
Yeah.
he said they were not paid.
Okay, so I think maybe there's a lot of issues going on at FAS as it is. I can't you can't start pointing at fingers because we don't have all the data and information. But
we're only
for
saying
somebody
what
to
they
make
say.
a statement like that,
Yeah.
it's not a very good indicator of things.
Yeah.
Because who paid that? Who was supposed to pay that money for the 2012 thing? Is it FIFA?
No,
So
tell FIFA. Oh, yeah.
So the way it is let's say if there's a tournament going on, right? There's that prize
Yes.
comes with a trophy.
Oh, okay,
Right.
okay, okay.
So out of the same prize,
Oh,
there's
that's why
allocation
you-
of the money for the players.
Oh, okay,
Yes.
okay.
So you
okay,
can't
okay,
tell
okay,
me
okay.
that they were not given that money that came with the
Mhm.
prize, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we just don't
Okay.
know where the money went.
Oh,
Bro, do you remember there's another, I think after
that's
the
wild,
Africa,
though.
the Africa Cup of Nations, there's
Yes.
another, it's just not Zambia, I think, where this is happening.
Mhm.
There's another team.
Yes.
Sorry on the correct information, on the exact information like this.
Yeah.
The country that also complained that the association did not pay the
Pay them.
players.
Mm-hmm.
So they just wanted money to be transferred direct into
Ah.
So right now,
like without
Without
FIFA
that
to direct to
interference.
their account.
I think what now
Yeah.
is it FIFA and CAF? I think they. I don't know if they've already done that.
Okay.
It's like so whenever players have gone out there to
Yes.
play on a tournament and ABCD,
Mhm.
the moment let's say their monies come out,
Mhm.
they should be sent to their personal
Bank accounts.
bank accounts. Not that the money goes to
Okay.
the association. The
Yes.
association does the rest of the
Distributor.
work. No.
They already separate the
Yes.
money in advance.
You reduce such stories.
Okay, yeah. But it's unfortunate that it has to get to that, where
Yeah.
somebody has to now oversee
Honesty,
and look, hey, man, it's money game, man.
Yeah.
It's grimy in these
Yeah.
streets, man. Okay, that's interesting, man. So, like, what have they resolved to do, though? Like, do the players, like, in the national team have a spokesperson?
I bet they do.
Okay, has the spokesperson said anything about
No.
the statement FIFA
Spokesperson
made?
for all the players.
the national
one
team
guy.
players? Yes.
I haven't heard such a thing.
Because I'm sure when they have grievances, also there's somebody who they speak through.
Yeah.
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 Because you can't say
Not everyone can
not
just go and
everyone
issue
can
a
just
statement,
march into
yes.
the
And that
office
person
say
is not common.
Yeah.
Yes. Any idea who the
He's not
the
in light.
okay? Yeah, they need to make a statement on that because it's it causes a lot of confusion.
Because at the
And
end of
it
the
doesn't
day,
paint the whole situation
yeah,
in a good light.
yeah.
Like already when you look at the first elections that happened, there was already all that drama.
Yeah, true.
Then now when it comes to the friendlies and all that, like there's already like these issues coming up. Like let's get that in order, man.
what's
Let's get that in order, so that the football fraternity, is in its correct place and things are done right.
Top off.
Yeah, my issues are my payment in Zambia. It's a problem, bro.
It's
a
like
problem.
you've worked for something, you've
Yeah.
worked for it, but someone is just failing you to pay you for what you've worked for,
Yeah.
for a service that you've worked for.
Very unfair.
Yeah.
It's a bit tricky. Anyway, we don't know what that is. In relation to Faz, that is something we're not sure of. But we're just speaking generally about the Zambian situation. Like, yeah, it's some unfair situations out here, man.
Oh,
Like, you find people have worked, but for them to get that payment, it becomes a bit of a hassle.
okay.
Yeah, it's crazy. There's something else I saw, like in relation to sports, but rugby though. So it was a post that was saying, "Why don't you watch rugby?"
Okay.
Yeah, like what? Do you watch rugby?
No, me, I don't watch rugby.
Have you ever watched
I've
it?
watched rugby, yes.
Okay, like a one-off thing, or you tried to actually get into it?
No, I started watching rugby even in school when I was in high school.
Yeah.
There was a rugby team.
Okay.
So you'd first see the rules from there.
Did you play rugby?
No, I never
Okay,
played.
okay.
First of all, I didn't have the body
Uh-huh.
size. It's not in body size, guys. Come on.
True.
Yeah,
True. The body size for you to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So first of all, that. But then I was interested because I don't know. In Africa, we grew up a lot on. We've grown up, especially the 90s children. It's more like football.
Yes,
like
soccer
it's more
is the
like
main
it's
thing.
soccer for me. I'm watching soccer, bro. What time? My parents never used to watch rugby, bro. Most of the time it was soccer, man.
Yeah.
It was even basketball. You watch basketball.
Yeah.
Mention 3 players.
Other than Kobe Bryant,
Hey.
LeBron
James,
James,
Steph
Steph Curry,
yeah. all those guys. But then if you didn't grow up on that, you wouldn't
yes,
follow, like you won't follow it to that extent. So like for me, I know rugby, I know part of the rules, but Not that I follow it.
Okay.
No.
I think with the issue of rugby here in Zambia, we haven't really taken rugby like the way it is in SA. Like just like he said it, we are glued to football.
Football, yeah.
These other sports, tennis, I don't know if there's
Basketball, golf,
basketball.
yeah.
You'd find that it's even difficult for such sports here in Zambia to find sponsors.
Yes.
But
yes,
for
yes.
as in for football, sponsors are all over.
One time.
But that's the reason why, because right now I don't even know the rules of rugby. Like I don't know apanga kunuisha, apanga nfao. Like I don't know.
What of the South African rugby? Have you watched a bit of that and maybe tried to understand it from that perspective?
No, not
Okay.
really, but I've seen they've won the World Cup, the Rugby World Cup. I think 3-4
Yeah,
times.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
they are good.
Yeah, like rugby is quite big in
South
in
Africa,
SA, yeah.
New Zealand.
Yes, Australia.
They play a lot of rugby.
Yeah, they play a lot of
Australia,
rugby.
of course.
Yeah.
Not sure about the US.
England, no. US have their own American
Yeah,
football.
it's that kind of American
Americans
football.
like to be unique, so they have their American
Yeah, but I
American
bet one day we should go and see it because in showgrounds there that there's
Rugby
Isuzu
sevens.
Isuzu 7 like it's the ZAF thingy.
Okay.
The
yeah.
Zambia Air
Oh,
Force,
yeah.
like
Yeah,
they have
yeah,
a team.
Yeah.
We
So
should go
there's a rugby tournament, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's actually there's a Zambian rugby team.
Okay. Is there a league for rugby like on a local level?
Yeah, I think it is there.
Aye.
Yeah, it is there.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, cause like here, bro, like yeah, I've noticed like
So we just need to take that keen interest and to go and see.
yeah.
Yeah.
We learn the rules, then maybe we might get interested of
Would you-
seeing rugby.
Yes.
Yeah. Would you believe it? There's a Zambia national team for badminton.
Aye? Which one is badminton first? Wait, like which?
What
What is Utubana?
tennis, so sorry.
Tennis like, tennis like.
I don't know how you
For that kind
describe.
of plastic thing, can
Yeah.
you that dress?
Yeah, you've got an idea, bro.
Wait, is it played by two people?
Back and forth.
It's
Badminton.
2 or 4?
Yeah, kutabanga abantu badminton.
or is
2
it
or
jammed like
4?
tennis? What's the
2 or
one where they hit the ball on the wall?
On the wall.
Yeah, there's the
Yeah,
one that
bam, bam, just let me.
the other guy stands this side, the other side stands.
Idaka tuishibati.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Squash.
Oh, squash.
Thanks to the homie there in the background, you might not see. He might feature one of these episodes. Yeah. Squash. Yeah.
Oh,
Squash.
squash. Okay.
Yeah, squash, badminton.
Yeah,
Okay. I see. No, there probably is, but it's
Yeah.
like I think we prioritize football a lot.
Yeah,
in
true.
Zambia
Where
at the
football loving
detriment
nation.
of other sports.
I think it's not only in Zambia, but I think several countries in Africa we've prioritized more of
Football,
than
yes,
these other sports.
than these
'Cause
other
if you go
sports.
out there like
Other than SAA.
kwani bafyathi sporting what kind of sport is this?
Yeah. And like
And sponsors are all over there.
yeah. Speaking of football, guys, we can't just speak about football and not talk about the women. Yeah. I think the women's team, this is new to us. I think like 10 years ago, there's not so much of a buzzing that you would get like when these people are playing.
Yes.
But now it's a whole different type of atmosphere when you go to when you go to a social place out there in the night and these guys are playing maybe at 21.
Yeah.
You could tell people the patriotism that people have when these people are playing now. And now people even have favorites in the team now.
Yeah.
There's Barbara, there's Kundananji, there's
Priska Chilufya,
Priska,
there's
all
Grace
those
Shanda,
guys.
there's Margaret Belemo, there's Ochum.
Yeah, this man knows the whole lineup.
yeah.
But looking at women's football in Zambia, we've really developed.
Yeah.
We've developed, we've built that thing.
Yeah.
We've come a long way. That's the reason why even with the likes of Barbara Mwanza or Barbara Banda.
Yes.
And Grace Chanda, Rachel. Even if they were to leave, there's a room of
there's still a lot more
brilliant
talent.
young players that will come through. So our league, as in female again, it's coming up.
Okay.
And I hope the scouting levels of this have gotten to another height, because now I think there are more women playing because of what they've seen already happening.
Yeah.
I think there are more women playing football, and that's just a good thing, you know. You know, to away from certain vices. Like, getting busy with certain sports is very important.
It is, especially for the youth. You're right. It takes away the youth from just that idleness.
Just that idle loitering around. Even women, you know, these days, you know.
Yeah.
So it's good. Yeah.
No, definitely. Women's soccer has definitely improved. You know, plenty of exports from the country.
Sure.
You know, the girls doing their thing in America, Orlando Pride, and other teams. You know, all over the world as well. Yeah. Like, it's big. Actually.
It's big. Barbara won what? Like what award was that? That was big. I saw that. I was like, ha.
Oh yeah.
Like she won the women's like that thing that she won.
Was it last year? It's this year.
This year,
This year.
Yeah, she won
BBC Women of.
I remember this year. Last year, I won it.
No, it was last year.
The other year?
Last year, yeah, it was last year.
Okay, I see.
That was big, like.
Yeah, it is.
Because she was competing with those. Because if you've watched women's football, like Coco did like.
Then Ballon d'Or, she was top 20. Yeah, top 20 on the list of Ballon d'Or.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's big time. You know,
for real,
that woman is big time, and then you know people should really be proud of that moment like that.
Definitely, man. Hey. Definitely doing big things out there.
Because you've seen her play, right? Like,
the
first time I saw Barbara, I was thinking.
I was watching like highlights of her thinking her games in the US.
Yeah.
The goal scoring machine. That one.
She's on another level. Like she's really good. Like when you speak of good, like she plays well.
That's an international. It's Zambia Kuchala, of course.
Zambia Kuchala.
Because Zambia, bro, like in Africa we are top 3, if not top 2.
Yeah.
Like,
women's football.
Yeah, in terms of even at the global thing, even if Zambia was playing with USA, Kutina though we are playing with Zambia, they'll be aware like, we are
these
playing
players.
with Zambia. They're not easy to win.
Just not a walkover, you know.
Yeah. Okay, cool, man. No, Zambian football for women like it's definitely improved by leaps and bounds, man. Yeah, but I think we should also do the same for other sports.
Yeah.
You know, we need to, rugby.
Yeah,
we should go and watch a rugby game soon. You know, maybe we can take our equipment then. You know,
and watch it from there.
Do a little show from there.
That would be good. You know, bring out a certain.
Because rugby, I think my exposure to rugby mostly is like high school as well.
Yeah,
there was a rugby team by our school, but I never did play.
Okay,
but there was a rugby team, so some of the Tumarus and stuff you kind of see it from that. Then also just a bit of exposure to it, like in SA, because like it's a big thing there. You know, the Springboks and whatnot.
Oh yeah.
But I never did take interest at that time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But when it comes to Zambia, like I'm saying, we need to branch out. Let other sports also.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of opportunity in other sports, but we just don't invest in them.
Yeah.
True.
And there's that issue. Like I remember with swimming as well. I don't know how to pronounce her name. She was one of the Zambian swimmers, prolific swimmers.
She's white.
No, I think she's mixed.
She's colored.
Yes, she's colored.
She's Piri something.
She was representing Zambia.
Like her name is Tilka something. I forgot what her name is. Yeah, if you can pull up her name there, like she was complaining about the lack of support. When it comes
this is what I was saying. Yeah,
to swimming and whatnot.
Like there's no support when it comes to that.
Not necessarily no support. Like there isn't much support.
Okay, it's not so
in
much
comparison to other teams. But just a lot of sports really they don't get as much coverage. You know, like let's say for instance, even like bodybuilding, right? What's the man's name, man? Mr. Zambia.
Sylvester Wida.
I think it's is it Sylvester Wida?
Wasn't that like the main?
What's his name? Okay, hey, pull up the man's name. We'll show you the picture and the name down there. Yeah,
him.
Yeah, there's some competition he had won. Like, it was quite big. Like, international competition.
Okay.
You know, went out there, competed, came back, got that gold, you know. But when he came back, like, even just at the airport, there's no press, there's no people there.
Just you.
He was just a
the
lot
Yeah,
plane,
bro, picture
your
that,
friend,
picture that.
the team
So that
trainer.
accolade it's just gone in the dust like that, you know. But that's somebody who went out there to put out for our country on another level, and he went and did his thing, you know. But just in terms of support for the sport and sponsors and all that, but I think the media also has a big role to play in that.
True.
Yeah.
You know, our media is a bit too general and biased in certain areas, especially like entertainment. You have a lot of blogs talking about music and the
Football.
entertainment generally. When it comes to sports, mostly it's football,
Yeah.
you know. But you would be hard pressed to find a blog that just talks about Zambian basketball,
Yeah.
you know, or just certain things. So we need to spread our wings across
Like
the board.
we're
We
good.
need more people in the media talking about those other sports and things and
Yeah.
covering
And
them.
yeah. And yeah. I don't know if you've seen this new sport. It's not yet. I don't know whether it's yet in Africa.
Okay.
But I do see videos. I think maybe some of you have seen those videos. Yeah, I'm a PN.
Oh, the
Yeah, I'm a
slapping, like, right?
PN. I don't know what they call that. Like, what do they call that?
I don't know. Like, I think it's it originates
what
from
sport is
Russia.
that.
Yeah.
What sport
But
that is?
yeah, they be
But
there
like, hey,
slapping the hell out of
hey,
each other. Like,
You talk about the number rounds are sana.
When motivated.
now,
Join
Guys, who thought about this?
now and they said you can kill someone,
Yeah.
man.
But I think with that, don't you also need to body size? Like, this guy,
body
this
size.
guy cannot do
Yeah,
it
of
with
course.
this guy.
Of course, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Body size.
But I've
and-
seen difference in body size. Like,
Yeah.
how did this match go on?
body size and of course, like, just general health of the person.
Yeah.
Because I think just going out there, like, it's dudes walking around who are already,
Who
like,
are already like,
they're already shaking. They're
Yeah.
missing some bolts
kick
and
the
nuts.
bucket move.
One clap, it's over. Like,
Done and dusted.
it's a wrap, So that's I've seen that.
Yeah,
It's
you
a
see
very
that? Huh?
interesting.
I was like, hey, what kind of sport is this? Why is it? It's not yet in Africa.
No, but I think it'd just be an issue of, like, somebody taking it up and saying, yo, we're gonna host this thing.
Yeah.
Like we what can I say? Like, we're not very innovative. That's one thing I've noticed about Zambia. We are kind of very settled in where we are.
Yeah.
We are used to the traditional things. Oh, it's like this, it's like that, it's like this. We don't have many innovators, and the few that are there, I think, also don't get the support because of the general mindset towards innovation and different
okay,
things.
if I'm Leland, I wonder it's true. Quite what sometimes, let's say you go out to chill, right?
Yeah.
If it's not football, party sport team, then there's a Zambian guy who's like, so I'm going to when what time in one day.
Yeah.
But I just time my boy go.
Yeah,
Like, why come out like that?
Yeah. That's why I was like, I was very interested when they had the whole Mwinenshima like challenge.
Oh, yeah.
Where they get these bunch of guys and then they have to
It's
compete
eating
and try to see like
competition.
who's going to eat the most in Shima.
yeesh.
Like, it's when you look at it, it's funny and it seems a bit silly and comedic. But you know what I liked about it is it's something different, just something fresh. And
Yeah,
different
they go
aspect.
Kopara. Yeah, Kopara. Yeah,
I
they
think
could.
maybe
was
there
here in
one
Lusaka.
yeah.
There's the one that was here at Showgrounds. I remember it was during the agriculture commercial show.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was here.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
and
I think the guys that came up with that, it was
Uh-huh.
the movie TV guys. They're the one that
Oh, yeah.
organized.
But there was the
remember.
original man who hosted the
I think that was in the
original
Copa
Mwinenshima. The first one that we watched was just on social media. It was some a man who organized. He bought the mini meal, the meat, and whatnot. He just organized it. Then I think those guys picked that idea from him. Yeah.
That was a lot of shima. I think the body shouldn't be subjected to all
No,
that.
bro, no.
That was a lot of shima.
That's too much, bro.
Yeah.
You see,
Why would you?
you will go into a coma, a Chinshima coma, like just gone, bro. Because the way Shima knocks you out, bro,
Yeah.
like you just eat like 1 or 2 lumps, and oh yeah. For the rest of you guys out there from around Africa in the world.
Yeah.
Shima is a maize meal food. It's made from maize meal, water, you cook it up and it comes into some form of like a pulp which you can eat. I'm sure the South Africans are familiar with it. In East Africa, I think you call it ugali. Zimbabwe, sadza, and SA, pap, you know. So South Africa and a bit of these other places, I think they're familiar
with it, yeah.
So I said, like, you know, like that stuff will knock you out, bro.
It will.
You eat like a good 3-4 lamps in October when the sun's out, like.
Yeah. If you just don't have any activity going on, you eat Shima at 13 or 12 or whatever time.
Lights out, bro.
And you're very comfortable where you're seated.
Let me do a 1 hour.
Hey, bro. 1 hour turns to 2.
You are about to take a nap.
2 turns to the days over,
You're about
man.
to take a nap. That's definitely.
Yeah.
That's definitely.
You know, but yeah, like, you know, and just sponsorship around things. Like I was saying, like, you know, there's certain attitudes we have as there's a certain mindset we have as Zambians and a way we do things that kind of also just keeps us there.
Yeah.
Like I said, we are very risk averse. Meaning we don't like to take risks that much.
Oh, yeah.
You know, people are too scared to do anything outside the status quo.
Yeah.
Like if you do that, people will literally come tell you like, oh, Panon Pazambia, like
You
this
know,
stuff won't
He
work.
was saving a 7.
Yes,
Do
yes.
you know where I see
yes.
that from too? From your statement. When somebody buys, like there's a new car, everybody will follow suit because that
Yes.
car looks like irevomba bwino kuno noma. Like there must be a pateko yari kuno.
Yes.
You cannot go buy a car. Kuno must be a patora. Mona put on range. Everyone we motke inshira mona. You wait
Yeah.
for somebody.
To go get it.
You should see it.
Yes.
You know, move. You know.
Yeah. But anyway, like,
follow
but
suit.
in that context, it's a bit like you can kind of understand it.
Yeah.
But just generally with other things, it's
Yeah.
like that innovation or that ability to take risk, like
Yeah.
we lack that, you know. So you find it both on like both ends. So let's say if we had to look at it on a business perspective, there are people who are afraid to take a business risk. Or just the risk of going into business and trying something for fear that it will fail. But then also the other part where we lose out because of that mindset is the investors as well.
Yeah.
The people with money are risk averse, so they're not trying to put money in anything other than the traditional ways they know of how to make money. And when you look at countries like America, that's what kind of like drives them. It's the innovation.
Yeah.
It's not to say that there's no failure, but for all the failure they get, the successes that they get are so big and they cover up for most of those losses. You know, so we need to kind of embrace on that risk, taking on risk.
Taking on risk.
You know, it's not everything that you put your money in that's gonna come back, but take that risk. You might invest in 6-7 things, but not all 6 will go through. But that one,
there's definitely one
that
will
one,
pull
you know,
through.
and sometimes you just have to learn through the failure for you to get to that greater point.
That's just the way it goes. Yeah.
So we need a lot of that, and that's what I'm saying. Even with the sports and everything, you know, we typically just stick to the soccer. Let's try something. Let's go with it. Let's really put the push behind it. You know, how do we grow this thing deliberately?
Yeah.
You know, and you know that's why we end up just stuck in some of these places because we're not really trying to push and put that effort behind something that someone has never done around here.
Yeah.
Even with the music.
yeah.
Sorry, come back.
No. Yeah.
That's what becomes a challenge because like typically there's a ceiling like in Zambian music. Most artists will reach a certain peak and it ends there. You can't grow beyond that. The next level of growth is actually supposed to be international.
Yeah.
But because as people we're a bit risk averse,
Yeah.
you know, like we're afraid to take those steps.
Yeah.
Not just the musicians themselves, but even just an individual is just going to go out there and say, oh, I think I'm going to take this risk and go to Nigeria. I'm going to live in Nigeria so that I know the music industry. But if you look at the Nigerians
They
everywhere,
move.
bro. They're brave as hell. Like,
They're here now.
and Nigerians, it's like a thing I remember I checked online. Like, this dude is a Nigerian dude who was like in Eastern Europe, like in Poland. You know, like somewhere out there in Eastern European countries, cold as hell. and he's there, and somebody's like, bro, what are you doing here, bro? But trust the Nigerian, they'll go where they have to go to get it. You know, they have that drive, and see where they are, man. For all the risk and the push they go through, they deserve to be where they're at. The results show, you know.
Guess what?
They're so dominant, but they had to take risks and go out there.
Had to.
Yeah. So we need to get out of that shell, and you know, you need somebody. You leave from here. I'm going to Lagos, bro. Now to hell with
So
just watching
you
it
to go
out
to Indonesia.
here. You know,
Turkey, man.
Yeah.
Istanbul, man.
Greenwich. Hey.
Be in Iceland or the North Pole somewhere there.
Alaska.
With the Eskimos. Like, how'd you get here? Trying to get their money, dog. Yeah, so I think with all that said and done, gents, I think, unless you got any more contributions, you got anything else we could talk about?
Yeah. I always spoken about the international scene, like international collaborations.
No,
we haven't spoken about
that. Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, that's a story for another.
Yeah, we could probably catch up with that in the next thing. Yeah.
Sure.
I think we could probably wrap it up. Any closing remarks?
Yeah.
Hey. So people that are watching, please, this is the Land of Work and Joy podcast. It's been nice talking to you. Please, we need more numbers, so keep on subscribing.
Like, share, and subscribe. The Land of Work and Joy podcast, episode 2. Just a second one. We got plenty more coming your way, more interesting topics and content, Hope you enjoy this. Give us your feedback in the comments, man. What you like, who would you like to see on this platform? What would you like to hear us talk about in this platform?
Sure.
Yeah. Saint, what you got to say, man?
Let's give our respects to our sponsors for today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who that is?
Goes to Phase 1. Yeah. For shout out to Phase 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to Phase 1 Media.
Yeah.
For all these lights and everything that you see here. Shout out to Constellation Media for providing us with the sound for the podcast. You need to do a proper podcast setup.
Oh, yeah.
You can hit up Constellation Media and Phase 1 Media to come set you up right, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, with that said and done, have a blessed week in this land of work and joy.
Yeah.
Peace.
Bye-bye.